Alright, what's up everybody? Peter Joseph here for another video on the Peter Joseph YouTube wrestling channel, youtube.com/Peter Joseph. Thank you for watching. Make sure you like the video. Hit the subscribe button down below right now. Alright, not gonna make this short, make this long, gonna make it short and sweet. Week 8 of the NFL, the league where they play for pay. And the Niners, they didn't show up at all. The defense, without Fred Warner, without Bosa, I mean, they got lucky last week with the win. And they come into Houston, who had probably the worst offensive line in the NFL right now, next to the Niners. And the Texans carved them up. Like Razor Ramon would say. Texans win 26-15. I mean, Kittle with a touchdown in his second game back. Tongas with a touchdown, but the defense just looked like shit. Robert Saleh with the blitzes. I mean, how many times are you going to blitz and get burned by it? And Kyle with his stupid plays. Mac and Cheese Jones throwing the ball like 30 feet in the air. And then near the end when the Niners were driving to possibly make it a 3-point game, guy can't catch the fucking ball. It was right through the guy's hands. And then that was basically it. They tried to get, go down the field. They were at the 2. Go all the way down, almost down the field, but by the time they were like down near red zone, in the red zone, it was pretty much over. The Texans get the ball back, run out the clock. It was pretty much it. So Niners fall to 5-3, half game back of the Seahawks and the Rams, who had off this week. So the Niners are a half game back in the division. And we'll have to see what happens next week. The Seahawks have the Commanders. The Rams, I forget who they play next week. So we'll see what happens with that in week 9 of the NFL in the league where they play for pay. The Niners go from Texas to New York to face the Giants, who got obliterated today by the Eagles at 38. I think it was 38-20, 38, something like that. They got abused. It was 38-21, somewhere around that, something like that. But it is what it is, and yeah, that's pretty much it. So Niners lose to go to 5-3. They got the Giants next week in MetLife Stadium. There's gonna be a lot of changes, and the trade deadline comes after the game next Sunday. I don't know what Kyle's going to do, or Jed York and John Lynch. I don't know what they're going to do, but we need some fucking help on the defense. Badly. Get Trey Hendrickson for the Bungles. Get somebody on defense. Either an edge rusher, an offensive end, a linebacker, a cornerback. I don't give a fuck who it is. I don't care if you get a guy on the street and say, hey, you want to play some defense? Come on. This is why injuries hurt teams. And the Niners are statistically, over the last, I'd say 5-6 years, have been the most injured team in the NFL. And it is fucking sad. For a team that has gone to 3 Super Bowls in the last few years. Actually, 2 Super Bowls in the last 5 years, if you think about it. But it's just, injuries happen. You can't control it. You can't do anything about it. And then the people that are the next man up, they suck. So any sport, in any sport, it's like that. It's just sad. So it is what it is. Hey, the Jets won. What? The Jets come back from they're down, I think, by 16 to win the game 39-38, a classic game. So the Jets get the first win under Aaron Glenn's leadership. You know, it was somber because Nick Mangold passed away today. So they did it for good old Beardy, Mr. Nick Mangold. So congrats on that, but still a somber day for the Jets, losing their franchise center and everything. But hey, they got a win and everything. They go to 1-7. Not that it matters, but they face the Bungles of all, the Bungles who had Joe Flacco starting for them, and they lost. Hey, blowing a 15-point lead. That's what happens in the NFL. Never give up, and shit happens. Now the Bungles look like garbage right now. They could have went to 4-4, now they're 3-5. Oh well. So we'll see what happens with that. The Giants go to 2-6. Pretty much, the division hopes are pretty much done. I mean, I know it's gonna be week 9 soon, but I don't even know when the Giants' bye week is. But we got that. So that's pretty much it. So that's really my post-game show for the Niners. Just a horrible game on defense. Not so great. Same old story with the offensive line. Besides the the good stuff that happened with Kittle and Tonjes, but Mac and Cheese Jones. He didn't have a bad game. So really, you can't put it on the so much on the offensive line, but he just had chances after chance after chance, especially with the defense on third down. How many third down conversions did the freaking Texans have? At least like 9 out of 12? Somewhere around that? I mean, come on. The Niners are not a great third down team. Even back then when they had a monster defense, they gave up third downs on drives that could have stopped them. It's just like the quarterback is running around like a madman, or defensive breakdown, or just pure laziness, especially in the fourth quarter. But that's another story for another time. And you can only, Robin said you can only do what you can do. So I'm kind of putting the blame on Robin Staley for this loss, but the defense, with the injuries, somebody has to step up. Would it be Michael Williams or who knows? They have to get that trade. They have to trade for an edge rusher or defensive end. They have to get somebody to fill in for Fred Warner and Nick Bosa, who are not coming back till next year. And Brandon Ayuk ain't coming back for at least 2 more weeks. They say week 10, but he might not come back at all. So that wide receiver core is just, you got Kawan Jennings is probably going to be gone, if not by, next week, after next week, because that's the trade deadline. He wants out of San Fran anyway, because he wants bag. And I don't understand why John Lynch and Jed York just say, hey, we'll give you like $50 million, shut up. They don't want to do that. You know how wide receivers are prima donnas, right, Debo? But but it is what it is. I mean, Debo's doing great on the Commanders. Give it to him. But still, Niners have to make a trade now. If they don't get anything at the trade deadline on next Tuesday, November the 4th, forget it. They're not making the playoffs. And if they do, they'll probably be 1-out. If Brock Purdy comes back from his turf toe and is the Brock Purdy of 2020, 2023, not 20, I'm sorry, 20, the last Super Bowl they were at, 23. 23, 24, whatever it was. But, Brock can come back and just be the Brock that we know he is, and not throw the fucking triple coverage. Crazy. Speaking of triple coverage, how the hell did Kittle catch that ball in triple coverage to give the Niners their first touchdown of the game? How did he catch that? It's insane how he caught that. That was like pure luck. Jeez. But I digress. Anyway, that's my post-game show, guys. Gotta do better next week. I mean, if you can't beat the fucking garbage Giants next week, you should not even make the playoffs. Next week is pretty much, win or forget the playoffs at this point. I know it's 5-3. I know we're 5-3. I know Niner fans like, we're 5-3. Don't worry. If you lose next week, you worry because you're 5-4 going into week 10 against the Rams in Santa Clara. Which is probably going to be a loss. Probably. I'm not saying it is because, anything can happen. But, we don't get the bye week till week 14. 14! We got 3 games after that. And one is against the Sheepcocks. I don't know if this team makes the playoffs at this point. I don't know. It's too early. It's week, we're at the halfway point. We are at the halfway point. Actually, next week we'll be at the or pretty much over the halfway point because, it's 17 weeks. But, still. If the Niners go into the bye week under 500, I don't know if they make the playoffs or they sneak in as a 7 seed. Or they win the division and get in as a 4 seed. Then you have to play a red-hot number 5 seed, whoever that might be. Green Bay, the Lions, whoever. Cowboys. Well, I said the Cowboys. But, I mean, whoever comes out of probably the Central or the West or even the South as a number 5 or 6 seed, and the Niners get at least, one of the 2, 3, 4 seed, I think they're probably going to lose. I hate saying it. I'm a fan, but, I mean, come on. It's just, I just feel like since 2020, the Niners have been cursed. The refs cursed them. God has cursed the Niners. I don't know. My brother's going crazy. It's like asking a guy, why? I don't know. I don't know. You had a great game last week, and then this week you just threw it in the toilet. I mean, come on, like a turd. This was the game. A fucking turd. Shit. Felt like the Niners of old. When they used to suck. Before Kaepernick came around. Before Alex Smith. Even way before, after Montana, pretty much. They were like not great, but after when Steve Young came in, they started going uphill a little bit. It just feels like the Niners from last year almost, when we thought they were going to go to the playoffs, and then next thing you know, everybody's getting hurt. Ayuk gets hurt for the year. Debo's hurt. McCaffrey's hurt. Kittle's hurt. Bosa's hurt. Everybody's hurt. Except for Kyle, And then, we had Steve Wilkes as a freaking defensive guy. And he stinks. Even though now he's on the Jets. Not molding the Jets into a freaking dynasty. I mean, 7 losses, now you finally win? Now you finally win, Steve Wilkes, you fucking piece of shit? I don't know. But anyway, I'm gonna get out of here. I got better things to do. I'm gonna watch the rest of Sunday. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm busy. I got other things to do. That's all I gotta say about that. So enjoy the rest of your Sunday football week 8 in the NFL, which includes tomorrow. I'll be back later with your NXT Halloween Actually, I'm going to be back in a little bit to do my NXT Halloween Havoc review. Then, later tonight, we'll do SmackDown, and then we'll talk about, tomorrow afternoon, late tomorrow night, we'll talk about, Collision. We'll do Raw on Tuesday, because, I'm mega busy tomorrow, so I'm not going to be able to pump out videos for you guys, maybe late tomorrow night, but we'll talk about, Collision. We'll talk about Raw Tuesday afternoon. I am very busy this coming week with doctor appointments and other things, and next weekend I'm busy with concerts and other things I gotta deal with, but But after next week, I'm pretty much clean slate up until Thanksgiving. Like, I got some stuff coming up for Thanksgiving, and then the holiday season, December. Lots of, not much stuff going into the end of the year. So, we just move on. Just take it one day at a time and, get through everything. So, that's that. Alright, guys, I am out of here. Thanks for watching. Until next time. Go Niners, I guess. But, not a great game today. Not a great game. Hopefully we'll be bounced back against the Giants next week. But if not, we're in trouble, guys. Push the panic button. Not now, but maybe next week. Maybe after next week. We'll see. But until next time, peace.